And one of the things that's been in the works for a while now is we've been looking at how to help these worlds come together. And so I want to introduce two longtime Epic folks, Carlos Coelho and Zach Parrish, to come on the stream and show us and talk about some of the efforts that the Fortnite team has been working on. You guys.
Hey.
Hey everyone. So thanks, Tim. Let me just start by saying a couple of quick things. Like here on the Fortnite team, we use the Unreal Engine and the Unreal Editor to build a game. Today, we're going to give you an early preview of our efforts to share those tools with all Fortnite creators. Think of this as an extension of the existing creative toolset and not a replacement. And then another thing to think about is that this is an early look and it's very early, so please bear with any rough edges. But we're super excited to show you. And I'm also super excited to be joined by Zach Parrish, who's going to be showing us some of the awesome things you can build with the Unreal Editor.
Hey.
So let's actually start by showing a video that we recorded earlier of us building a little shrine, like mini shrine, to an old fan favorite, Kevin. So yeah, let's cue this video and take a look.
Yes.
Zach, if you want to.
Yeah, so here we're actually doing something pretty interesting. We're importing a custom mesh. This is a high-res Hollywood-grade model of the complex geometry of Kevin.
Yeah, it might be the most high poly mesh in the game.
Yeah, we had to be really careful with this one. And then I'll just drag this right into the view, and there's Kevin in his untextured glory. But then we can go right over to his properties and set a material on him. So here's the Kevin material. But the great thing is that we're going to give you the ability to jump into these materials. And here you can see the node graph, which makes Kevin possible. There's all of the bits and pieces that define his surface. And we can even go in and make changes to them. So here's his base diffuse property. We can set this to a garish shade of pink if we want. And then if we save this out, then Kevin, as you can see, is now pink. But we're going to set it back to something a little more Kevin-like.
Oh.
So now this is a quick section where we're just going to show some of the new object placement tools. So a quick shout out actually to Ashley Ludlam, one of the gameplay designers on Fortnite, who's actually doing the driving in this bit. So he's going to use the Unreal Editor toolset to build a small shrine to Kevin to kind of show this off. You see he's bringing in some static meshes, quickly adjusting their properties. And these are the same tools that our developers actually use to put the game itself together. So our goal is to give you the same kind of power, the same tool set that we use to bring Fortnite to you season after season.
Yeah, absolutely. Like really as one-to-one as possible from normal Unreal Engine workflows. You know, it'll take us a while to get there, but we're super excited for this.
Okay, we have the three rocks. Of course, that's important. So you got you need something that looks very shriny. And so now here's Kevin in his VFX splendor. And we're going to bring in a particle system. This is actually from a previous season of Fortnite. It's a little star dome. We'll put that on Kevin's head. Now, the neat thing is that we can actually jump into Niagara, which is the full particle system inside of Unreal. And you can see I can rotate around the particle system, take a look at the node graph definition, which defines this effect. And I could even go in and make this my own customized version of this effect straight from the Fortnite content. There you have it.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So now why don't we go and show kind of another kind of big part of the toolset, which is essentially, I think there's another video for us actually. So, you know, you see some new buttons in the toolbar. One of them is upload project. And that will actually take the content that we just, you know, created and imported and upload it to the cloud, have it be processed in the cloud, and delivered to an actual running game session. So here was us actually playing around in Party Royale. You could see consoles playing, you know, we had some capture team members on console and PC, and it showed up in a normal Party Royale session, which is pretty cool. The other part of this that we're doing is actually leveraging that connection to a running game, allow you to make live edits quickly and easily. And we support things right now like translation, rotation, but we really want to expand that over time. And I think one of the most powerful things that we found, you know, developing creative is just how powerful quick iteration and faster iteration is. And, you know, and some of the things you can do in creative, like being able to do that with a full broad tool set is frankly amazing.
Oh, not
So
to
we're
nerd
super
out,
excited
but
about that.
just the ability to be able to make edits like that on the fly that people could actually see live in game that might be the most exciting aspect of this, for me anyway.
Oh yeah, yeah. And the thing is, it's one of the things that maybe not doesn't show off well on video, but I 100% agree. Like this is a thing that I geek out on all the time, for sure. So one cool thing, just FYI, is that we kind of wanted to prove out the whole end-to-end flow. So we did push out this content, or actually an earlier version of this content, to Party Royale right now. So those people in game, feel free to head over there to where you see us editing, and you should be able to see a version of it. Now, please bear in mind, this part of it is probably the most kind of proof of concept. So don't be surprised if there are bugs in game. But yeah, again, we really wanted to show everything end to end and thought that was really powerful. So we do know that this is kind of only one part of the tool set, right? This is content. And another thing that's really important is code. So we are working on tools for that as well. And we wanted to give you a quick early glimpse of that, of a new scripting language we're developing, which Epic engineer Tim Telton is about to show us. So why don't we cue that video?
Hello. I was part of the team that helped launch Fortnite Creative. Since then, the community's done some amazing things, and we want to give them even more tools to help build fun and engaging experiences inside of Fortnite. Let me walk you through an early prototype of one of these new tools, a game script used to implement box fight. We start the script by waiting for players to join. As you can see, some commands take time to complete, and the game continues on as this script waits for an event. Once players have joined, we start our game by setting the player's spawn points and inventory. To change things up, we use the current round variable inside this method to set up a different inventory in some of the rounds. Next, we make players invulnerable and start the round countdown timer. Partway through the countdown, we enable building so people can get ready to play. And we enable multiple round end conditions. Either one player can remain, or 0, or the round will time out. Returning to our game script, once the end conditions are met, we display a round end message. Then we disable combat and the storm. And then we reset everything for the next round and run the same script again. We can also tweak a few small changes to the player inventory items in script between rounds, like adding impulse grenades or clingers. Very small changes can have a dramatic impact on gameplay. This is a very early prototype, and we still have a lot of work ahead of us. But we're looking forward to what our creators will be able to do with much more powerful tools. Look forward to more details as we continue development.
Awesome. Well, we're super excited to bring this to the community. You know, in terms of time frame, we're not sure. Probably sometime in 2021. And you know, just like we're seeing here, I think we'll want to iterate with the community and kind of get something out early as we can. But we'll see. We'll take things one step at a time.
And the goal here is really to bring in more of the Unreal Engine authorship tools that we use here at Epic. I mean, obviously, you can already place objects in your Fortnite creative scenes. A lot of those types of things like move, rotate, scale, those have been there. But we want to give you access to your particle authoring tools or your material editor and things that we use to bring the game to life so that you can start making even more customized experiences yourself.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like unlocking those tools in a way that you can leverage in creative, like there's some really powerful things there that we want to explore.
Yeah, it's really awesome work. Congratulations, folks. And you know, this is an early peek at something that's in development, but you know, it's the first step into a larger world in which the world of Fortnite Creative and the world of the Unreal Engine and the full set of tools that AAA developers use to build major console games converge to give creators even more power in the future. You know, and these are two worlds that will coexist side by side with the Fortnite Creative mode existing on every platform and every control scheme, and you know, some of these advanced tools running on PCs, you know, for high-end developers, and it's going to be the interplay between you know, creators using Fortnite Creative and developers using the tool set working together that's going to create a lot of really interesting interactions.
All right. Are you all ready to answer a couple of questions from chat?
Yeah.
Okay,
bring it.
cool. Extrasum5 asked, can you mod in any platform? And if so, do you need a third-party app?
So the 100% the goal is just like everything in Fortnite Creative inside of Fortnite, that everything you create works on every platform and you can publish and see it live on every platform. Which is why it was important to even demo the Windows and console together, just to show that. The third-party tool is the Unreal Editor, so it'll be a flavor of the Unreal Editor for sure with custom things for our toolset, like you saw the upload button. But you will be able to use external third-party tools like Maya and Max and Houdini, and in terms of creating content. So that's true. Yes.
Leads us over to the next question. Titch MW asks, will you be able to import custom assets like models into the game?
So toolset, yes, absolutely. I think we still have to figure out moderation and getting what that looks like for sure. So we're a little thoughtful there, but it's super powerful to be able to import your own assets and create content and create things that doesn't look like Fortnite and support that. So
that's right. And remember, Fortnite is going to be moving to Unreal Engine 5 in 2021, and so a lot of these Unreal Engine 5 features you've seen demonstrated on the high end will become possible in this environment, and they'll create a really interesting a combination of Fortnite visual style, plus the option of having completely photorealistic content in creator worlds as well.
And all of those things that we were talking about to make it easier to bring things in without worrying as much about optimization, it all applies here.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think, that is one of the things that we're kind of working through. It's like taking some of those tool sets and workflows and figuring out the best manifestation of that for the tool set, without sacrificing the tools and the power, but, figuring out how to automatically optimize. Like those are all things that we're kind of taking into account as we iterate through everything that we're going to be doing over the next 6 months to a year.
Moving back to a couple of the questions we received earlier in the stream here in regards to UE5, Captain Gravyboat asked, which platforms will Nanite and Lumen support, and how will the tech scale to lower-end platforms?
So the next generation, I guess they're current generation consoles now, I guess we could call them, is definitely supported, as well as high-end PC. I don't think we know yet as far as how low it will scale, so I don't have anything to report there, but it will definitely be supporting in its highest fidelity there. And then we're going to have technology to make it so that the assets that were imported for that quality level can be shipped across the full scale of platforms that UE5 supports.
Right, so you build your high-end movie quality content once, and players will see that directly on these high-end devices, and then everywhere else it will be scaled down, but it will still work.
Exactly.
At a lower level of visual quality without the micro-polygon geometry.
Moving on, Voxelize asked, Lumen video shows mostly diffuse bounce light. Is multiple bounces supported for specular as well?
Multiple bounces is supported by Lumen. The specular side of things is currently in rapid development. Multiple bounces will be supported by specular, but that doesn't mean they'll necessarily be like full caustic bounces. So if you can see multiple bounces after the first bounce, it might be fairly diffuse for the rest of the bounces, but it won't just be like a complete loss of energy after it hits the first thing, if that makes sense.
Misanthrope asked, will Nanite work with VR?
Yes. There's aspects of VR support. It probably won't be there in the very first version that we released. The early access version that we mentioned will be out at the beginning of next year, but it will be supported eventually by the time that we're ready for the full UE5 release.
And then let's see, I think we had one more. The Autumn asked, when will we see DLSS and ray trace global illumination from emissive materials added to the engine?
DLSS and ray trace global illumination already shipped in Fortnite, I believe. As far as bounces from emissive, I'm not sure the answer to that.
Moving on then a little bit, we had a couple of questions in regards to virtual production as well. Jemerson Art asked, have you looked at the methods being explored by companies like Corridor Digital regarding connecting their camera systems in via live link and how you deal with those large data streams, including motion capture and facial capture as well? Non-LED screens, but still fast responsiveness.
I don't have a particular answer for that one in terms of virtual productions, but I do know we're always working on latency, and we've been tracking that down for a while, and it's always improving in terms of cameras. And so I think overall speeding up our systems are one of the core things that we're always working on, because we like to have quick feedback when we're on stage for everybody that's there.
Received another question here in regards to Lumen and Nanite. Loresh asked, will Lumen and Nanite work at all with forward rendering or MSAA?
Nanite will not be supporting MSAA. Lumen doesn't necessarily have a particular care in that. What was the other part? The forward rendering. I'm not sure whether that is currently working, but there's no limitation there as far as us making that work if it's not currently working. So yeah, we can support forward rendering with Nanite. I'm not sure the answer for Lumen, but I suspect the answer for Lumen is no for forward rendering, because I expect that Lumen is going to want to do its various bounces in multiple passes in a deferred nature. So I expect it's going to need to have the G buffers to be able to do that. And forward rendering won't be providing that. But I'm not the expert on the Lumen system to give a definitive answer there. But I would predict the answer is no on the Lumen system.
Moving back a little bit to the Fortnite Creative announcement, what sort of scripting language did you demonstrate in Fortnite Creative today?
Well, it's a new one, and it's been in development, and the ideas have been brewing within Epic for quite a while. We'll have a lot more to say about it in 2021, but I think you'll find it interesting. There are some ideas there which are fairly new to programming languages, which make development, and particularly game development, easier than it's typically been in dealing with complex interactions between objects. So stay tuned for details later.
And what does this mean for existing Unreal Engine developers?
Well, when we build something at Epic, we try to make it available to all of our licensees, and we're building a lot of these tools in Fortnite, in Fortnite first, and so the scripting effort is being nurtured within Fortnite. And we expect it will come into the Unreal Engine later on, after it's really been proven out there. And similarly, a lot of the tools that we've demonstrated here, such as live editing, where you can edit a level in the editor on PC and see it deploy in real time to all of these other platforms. These technology pieces are some are available to licensees now, and some are coming in the next version of Unreal Engine 4, and will be in part of Unreal Engine 5 from the beginning.
How closely do the new Fortnite Creative tools resemble the vanilla Unreal Engine?
I mean, what you saw was essentially what we're using internally now for our development. So pretty close. What the final version of it looks in terms of skinning or the title or anything, we'll see. But we absolutely want to keep it as close to one-to-one as possible.
And that was the actual material editor, and that was Niagara that we looked at.
Yeah, right. And the same, actually the same editor that we used to build the content that we shipped with, in game.
So on that note, if you are excited about the new Fortnite Creative tools, you can start using them. Some of those tools already in Unreal Engine right now. You can go download 426. It's available in the launcher. See, moving back to some of our virtual production technology, Marco Mello asked, how much can your virtual set technology evolve? I've noticed the current sets are incredibly cylindrical. Is there any way to reformat these designs for further immersion?
I'm guessing he's talking about the LED walls, and that's an area I'm not familiar with in terms of future technology of that. That'd be, maybe we can answer that in the chat later.
Let's see. Kupinator asked, what is being put in place to prevent the higher graphical fidelity needs of ArchViz and virtual production from impacting the performance of Unreal Engine in mobile and other low-end devices? Is performance on low-end devices still a priority for Unreal Engine?
Yeah, I mean, I believe that we're always looking at that. It's very important because we, you know, in some cases we do use lower end devices for some of our workflows, and so I think it's always very important for us to keep that in mind. And having been a developer for many years, like one of the things I really like about this engine is it is very it considers those type of things, and you know helps with our workflows quite a bit. So I would expect that.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge for sure, to cover the just like extremely wide range of scalability that Unreal has to cover, from going all the way up to needs that people have for just like offline rendering, all the way down to it needs to run fast on a phone. Like that scale is huge. But those are things that we consider with every decision that we make, of how can we encapsulate things, how can we isolate them, such that we can not be constrained to be able to push forward the one end of the spectrum, without pulling up the other end of the spectrum too much. There's times at which we need to cut off things at the lower end of, you know, very old APIs and old pieces of hardware and things like that. Like there is a march of progress that happens at times, but we certainly can't just like lop off the whole bottom half of our support range just because we want to add some extra little slice at the top. It's something we're always cognizant of.
Going back to Fortnite Creative and some of the new tools that have been shown, we've seen some folk ask in chat, I spent a bunch of time learning the creative tool set. Will I have to relearn everything? And then maybe a follow-up question would be, what's a good way to learn the Unreal Engine workflows?
So the answer to the first question, I think, is absolutely not. Like like we mentioned, we view them as complementary. You know, like there's real power to being able to sit on a couch and have a controller and create things with your friends and see it live on screen. Like that's some of the power that we're trying to unlock in the editor. But there's a real power to doing that on console. So absolutely not. We view this as things that are complementary. And who knows, maybe you can build things in Fortnite in sort of the tool set and bring in creative or vice versa. There's lots of things that we'd love to iterate and experiment with.
And as far as learning the engine goes, there's a ton of great resources that our learning team has put out over the last year, actually right down to the last couple of months as 4.26 has dropped. You can go to learn.unrealengine.com and see a variety of videos and examples. On the Learn tab of the engine launcher, you can download a lot of examples from us and dig through those and see how we put things together. And you could technically become kind of like a master of these tools before you ever see this stuff in Fortnite.
And there are plenty of community tutorials and resources as well existing all over the internet. If you're looking for those resources, make sure you visit our forums at forums.unrealengine.com. There's also our unofficial Discord community, unrealslackers.org. I think they reached over 50,000 members recently, where daily there are active discussions in all fields and industries within Unreal Engine. We also recently just held the 2020 Epic Mega Jam, which is mostly talked about around there. Before I start doing my sort of little outro spiel here, is there anything else one of our guests would like to mention for our audience here today?
Well, I just wanted to say that, all of this is, while we've talked a lot today about what Epic's done and our very exciting 2020, we always have to give a shout out to what's been created in the community. We have such an incredible community of developers and creators and partners, and they make so much of this possible by pushing us to be better, pushing us to make better tools, and just working on really, really rad projects. And honestly, I feel like we have one of the best communities ever. Like, you all are so great. You're so supportive. It's so absolutely creative, and we're really, really lucky to have you. And I know this is super gushy, but it's the end of the year and we get to be that way, darn it. So I just want to say, like, we couldn't do all this, and we are so privileged and honored to be part of this, journey with you all. And so happy
I do want
holidays.
to, just to follow up on that, I want to give a quick shout out to the team that helped put together the demo and sort of all of it. It's a lot of work, and it's kind of humbling, and we're super excited and maybe a little healthily scared for the next several years. But yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, and thanks to everybody who's put their trust in Epic. Whether you're a game developer or a Fortnite creator, we've accomplished so much together. It's astonishing, and really grateful for everybody's support. And we're doing a lot of good things, and we're fighting some good fights. And I think this is opening up the doors to a whole lot more opportunity in the future. Of Fortnite, of game development in general, and of this new medium that seems to be coming together as a result of 3D gaming meeting mass consumer entertainment, which science fiction calls the metaverse. And we don't know exactly what it is, but we're building it together. That's the most awesome part of this whole experiment. So thank you all.
And thank you all, Amanda, Brian, Grayson, Tim, Carlos, and Zach, for coming on today, talking to our community about all the amazing things that happened and what is to come. Now, the Fortnite Creative team did want me to mention that they actually released new Fortnite Creative documentation. So if you go to fn.gg/creative docs, you can find new documentation on how you can utilize Fortnite Creative today. And big thanks to everyone who's watching today, whether it was on Twitch or in Party Royale. We're really happy to have you here. To let you know, we stream every Thursday on Twitch, not for the next 2 weeks, bear in mind, because Epic is going on our winter break. But the first week back on January 7th, we will have Short coming on talking about our new water tools in Unreal Engine 426. Get excited for that. If you want to get prepared for that, there's already a video on our YouTube channel where Short is going through some of those, but he's doing a deep dive, and you'll have the opportunity to ask him questions live. And chat, please give it up for all of you and for our guests here today. It's been a pleasure to have you all. Like I said, we will see you again when we are back next year. Not in Party Royale, bear in mind. It's been exciting to be able to be there today. We'll see what the future brings in terms of that. And with that said, I think it's time for all of us to say goodbye. And I really mean it from the bottom of my heart to say thank you all for being such an awesome community. It's a pleasure to work with you, and I hope to get to see all of your amazing creations in the future. And in the past as well. Please make sure you let us know what you're working on. Forums, Discord, Twitter, just make sure you hit us up. We're always excited. With that said, let's all wave goodbye while the intro plays.
Bye.
Bye.
Holiday.